everyone, and welcome back to a current movie review. Sean and I just got back from Toy Story 4.
Indeed.
And before we jump into that movie, first, we want to take a little time to talk about the Toy Story franchise and how we feel about it.
Yeah, Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and we're not going to talk about any of the shorts, probably.
I mean, we're gonna try and be very brief talking about Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and then if you want to just jump to the Toy Story 4 review, bloop, go to this timestamp, boom. So, let's get our thoughts on Toy Story 1, 2, 3 out of the way.
Okay. I just wrote some real quick notes for all of the films.
Yeah.
Toy Story 1. The humans are terrifying looking. I think the dog is even worse.
Yeah, the dog's probably, like, the worst model to come from that movie, which is understandable, because, like...
It's new.
First... Yeah, we're not... I know a lot of the production history behind these movies. We're not at Animation Pilgrimage yet for this film.
This is just our brief thoughts about it.
Yeah, when we get to Animation Pilgrimage, I'll talk about the production and yada 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 yada. But this is just real brief thoughts on these movies.
Also, the movie just kind of centers around the abstract terror of the meaningless of life, specifically around Buzz finding out that his life is meaningless and everything is a lie. Which is hilarious.
To go from the point where, like, he thinks he's a space ranger, like somebody really important, saving the galaxy kind of thing, and then to figure out that he's just a toy.
And all the meaningless or not so meaninglessness of that has to offer. I think the movie's pretty enjoyable.
Oh,
it's
hell
real
yeah.
good.
I still love Toy Story. It's the only film that if Pixar was ever like, hey, we're going to remake Toy Story, I would be totally okay with it. Like, just use the models that they have now and remake Toy Story. Just, like, word for word. Just make it new so it looks nicer.
Keep the I wouldn't say all of the audio, but if you want to keep the dialogue and then remaster everything else about the movie, sure.
It's like I would pay money to go see that in theaters again.
Don't add audio.
Yeah, please don't add
more lines
to
or
it.
anything.
Just be a faithful remaster of the movie, and I would be super pleased.
Just like upgraded audio, upgraded models, rendering, everything,
animation,
everything in that sense.
That being said, the animation in this movie is still really solid.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Specifically when it comes to the character animation, there's a few techniques and stuff that bug the hell out of me about this movie, like the
slow blinky eyes.
Oh man, 3D animation was not quite there yet.
I know they did that to make it look more
real,
alive.
But
like
so
it still looks so
distracting.
bad. Oof,
yeah.
Oof.
But like Woody's ragdoll animations, the way he runs, the thought and effort that's put into every single toy and how they move. Is still so good.
Also, there's just a general level of spitefulness left over from the original draft, which you can definitely still see that, but I'm glad there was a rewrite and they tried to rehash that a bit.
Well, yeah, and Pixar's still a new company, and
quickly
it's
rushing out a new plot.
Like, going back and watching Toy Story is like, wow, this movie has a bit of, like, edge to it. And the characters aren't just, charismatic and likable. Like, Woody's charismatic, but he's not necessarily likable. But he's still my favorite character.
And, yeah, I think that's my main thoughts on the first one.
And then Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 2, I made one specific note. I need you to look at that, please. Is this loss? I just drew...
Why did you show me the loss meme?
Because that's what this movie's about.
Loss. Fair.
It's about loss, specifically Jessie, because she's the main character of this movie, and all that she goes through. And Jessie is a fantastic character that plays a lot, is the main character of this movie, which is very rushed, The production of this movie
the production of this movie
so
was
rushed.
so crazy. Yet again, won't go into it. That's for Animation Pilgrimage. But holy cow, Toy Story 2 is like a miracle.
Mm-hmm. It's like, but it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's
this
still
movie is
great.
much funnier than the first movie.
Yeah.
They just threw a million jokes in here. Not all of them work. Not all of them work now.
Mm-hmm.
But
especially those outtakes at the end.
Oh yeah, there's one outtake in particular which is very not okay.
Very awkward, like
Stinky Pete talking to the Barbies.
And I'm just like, oh, that's John Lasseter. Hmm.
Wait, was Stinky Pete played by John Lasseter?
No,
okay, thank God.
Oh. No, but like that whole interaction.
Oh,
yeah.
It's not cool.
Yeah. It's just like, oh. Mm-hmm. Okay. But still, Toy Story 2, great movie. Mm-hmm. Great follow-up. It, like, adds to the world. It brings in new characters.
It doesn't really detract from the charm of the first one either. It doesn't just like, and now we're changing everything, and now you can't like the first movie or anything. No.
Right. Toy Story 3, this is probably the most controversial of the 3 movies so far.
It immediately retcons 2's ending.
2's ending?
Yeah. Of, we're going to be here until Andy goes off to college, and that's okay. Or until he grows up, and that's okay. Second movie, that's not okay. Or third movie, they immediately come along and...
That's not a retcon. That's changing, like... It's easy for them to say at the end of Toy Story 2, that's okay, because it hasn't happened to them yet. They've changed their minds. That's not okay anymore. Mm-hmm. They've been sitting, like I don't think it's easy to say that that's a retcon. It's just, now that it's here, it's a lot harder for them to just accept it.
I know this is a controversial statement as well, and a lot of people don't like this comparison, but this movie is Toy Story 2, but executed better in a lot of ways. Not completely, not 100%. For one big point, there is no Jessie character in the third movie, because Jessie's amazing and definitely the best part of Toy Story 2. Toy Story 3... Otherwise, the rest of the plot of that movie of Woody or someone getting trapped somewhere by some conniving maniacal toy that night, then they need to save them from this location. It's kind of a journey but escape film thing at the same time.
Yeah, I like that it's a prison break movie.
That's
fun.
Very similar to 2, except executed better because they had a lot more time to think about it.
One thing that I really like about this movie is it's just... Like, we don't necessarily go into...
Also, the whole concept of staying or leaving a child, specifically.
Yeah.
That is handled a lot better in the third movie than it is in the second movie.
Yeah. It's not so, like, black or white.
Yeah, it's like, I can't leave Andy. All right, I'm staying with you guys. Wait, I'm good. I can't leave Andy again.
Yeah.
Which is just... in the second movie.
And in the third movie, like, right up till the end, you really don't know what the toys are going to decide to do. And
yeah, it's a real tearjerker at the end.
Like, cheesily so. It gets pretty ridiculous at the end with, like, how much it plays on your nostalgia, but for me personally it works. And if for other people they find it's like too much, I understand that, but like Toy Story 3 has me by the balls and I am crying.
And that's the thing, it's like I agree wholeheartedly. Them almost being burned alive and them resolved to be okay with this end because they have no other choice.
Just holding each other's hands. Ugh.
That makes me cry like a baby. Andy giving away his toys to Bonnie. I already cried. I'm not crying again.
And they both get me.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
I might be like, oh, that's a bit sad. In like a happy way, but like
yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't have that part doesn't have as much of an emotional impact as the first That first point did.
Anyway, what I was going to say earlier, before
Sorry.
you interrupted me,
I apologize.
was that I really like that Toy Story 3 focuses on the toys. Like, it's not just about, you know, Woody and Buzz, or like Buzz and a few select toys go on an adventure to go find Woody. You know, it's all of them.
It's about the toys as a collective.
Yeah, and none of them really make a whole lot of character growth in that movie, but it's okay because it's about them together as a unit.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I really like that. And I really like the new toys that show up in Bonnie's room, too.
Mm-hmm. They were a lot of fun. And they're obviously very fresh-faced and new to the whole being toy thing.
And just as a brief review on the other Toy Story stuff, the
shorts and stuff like that.
I really enjoyed those, too.
Oh, heck yes.
I was 100% down for Toy Story 3 being the last film, and for those shorts to just be the way we continue to see these characters.
Yes.
So now we have the fourth movie.
And now, Toy Story 4. Non-spoilers to begin with.
This is going to be difficult, because I really just want to...
I think the non-spoiler section is going to be like 3 minutes long, and then we're going to get into this movie.
Yeah.
For serious, guys.
Yeah. If you want to, like, if you don't want to be spoiled on this movie, please go see it.
Here is the non-spoiler. This is as non-spoilery as I can get. My thoughts on the movie.
And Sean and I haven't even talked about the movie with each other yet.
Like we quite literally
I don't know what Sean's thinking. I know I have some pretty thoughts. Some thoughts.
This is how I feel about this movie right now.
Okay.
This could change, especially during this conversation.
Yeah.
But right now, I feel like the character interactions that happen in this movie are exquisite, charming, a lot of fun. I enjoy the characters bouncing off of each other.
Yeah, the character dynamics were all really good. The animation was amazing.
Oh, the animation, okay.
The modeling,
the art direction,
the textures, and everything
immaculate.
blew my freaking mind.
This movie is gorgeous. Just immaculate.
I didn't know a film could look like, okay, I don't know what to say about the art direction because not a lot of it wowed me, but just like the textures and models on the characters themselves.
The characters and
was galaxy mind.
And their like
holy cow, it opened my third eye.
Their environments, especially in the antique store. Just like
yeah, just whoa,
it looks so good.
Yeah.
All right. I personally feel
yes
that this movie going through like multiple rewrites and being stuck in development hell for years shows.
Yes.
The plot is definitely the weakest part for me.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
My thoughts, I feel, is kind of similar to yours. I think this is a really good movie. I think it's a really bad Toy Story movie.
Okay. And that's our spoiler-free thoughts on this movie.
If you have a lot of attachment to the Toy Story franchise, I think you're going to have more problems with this than a casual viewer who's probably going to have a really good time.
I would agree. I think that's, yes, and we'll talk about it in the spoiler section. All right, trailers?
Did we get anything new?
No, we didn't get any new trailer. Wait, yes.
We did?
Never After, Enchanted,
Onward!
Onward!
You're
I don't know,
we
it's
haven't
like...
gotten a chance to talk about Onward.
The new Disney Pixar?
Pixar, yeah.
The new Disney Pixar film starring Spider-Man and Star-Lord as brothers.
Yeah.
I don't know, it looks enjoyable.
Yeah,
This is a teaser, so like we don't have a whole lot to go off of other than there are magical creatures living in general modern day suburbia, and it's just kind of a thing.
I'm excited for it because it's an original concept from Pixar again.
Yes, thank you. Not a sequel, thank you.
But from like what we've actually seen, I'm very
There's not a lot to go off of
meh
here.
about it. Like I like the designs of things. The one thing that's bothering me, and this is a shout out to you, Moon Kitty, is it bothers me so much now that the unicorns don't have unicorn tails.
Okay.
And the unicorns specifically that they chase away are actually alicorns. But whatever.
Well, yeah. They're using a lot of like...
I know.
I understand that...
As someone who loves fantasy.
As fantasy creatures, they're using a lot of shorthand here.
Yeah, a lot of shorthand.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever.
I do like them chasing away the unicorn alicorns and just be like,
as pests?
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Go.
Ugh,
I'm sick
unicorn.
to death of you. Stupid magical horse things. Horses are the worst.
It's just
Am
like,
I right?
well, it's just the idea of like unicorns are supposed to be this majestic creature, and the fact that they in this world are now no better than like raccoons or possums.
Mm-hmm. That's
like,
amusing.
That's pretty good. I also love their dragon dog pet thing. He's cute.
Yeah, I don't like the introduction scene of him though.
Okay.
I don't know. Something about the way the characters are smiling way too much, or like the general animation there of like the mom specifically. I don't know. Something about that scene seems
flat to you?
Like very flat animation wise. It's like there's a lot going on, but like nothing feels like it has a correct impact. I don't know. Maybe it'll be better in the actual movie.
Yeah.
It could just be a scene that didn't land very well for me
for
specifically.
a trailer.
Yeah. Who knows? I'm generally interested to see what the next trailer brings for us.
The dragon may literally be only in that scene.
Yeah, or just like...
to be a joke of like, we keep dragons as dogs now.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Which it very easily could be, and...
yeah.
Whatever. All right, now we're going to get into the spoiler section of Toy Story 4. If you don't want that, we are going to get real into this, okay?
Yeah.
So if you see the movie, okay? Let's go see the movie first, and then then we'll then come back and like hear our thoughts on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, where do we want to start? This plot has so many contrivances to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell that they had probably 1,200 different plots that they were doing, and then they changed and rewrote and changed and rewrote, and now this character is this kind of character, and now we're doing this instead of that, and how do we get them from this plot back over to this plot?
Can I talk about the tragedy that is Buzz Lightyear in this movie?
Oh my god, what the fuck?
They hit Buzz Lightyear with a stupid stick, and like his jokes are funny.
But this is not Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, it's like
if
it's
you
one
like
of those
Buzz
things
Lightyear
where
from the
I really
movies 1, 2, and 3,
did not want to laugh because it's just like this is so out of character and so. Oh.
It's like Buzz got replaced with a different Buzz, and that
but
Buzz
not
hold on.
normal different Buzz kind of thing.
It's like this Buzz got replaced by a different Buzz who was also then told that his life is a lie, and this is how the old Buzz acted. And now this new Buzz is trying to fill those shoes, but is still so fresh that he doesn't understand nuance.
Yeah.
And inner thoughts. And stuff like that. That's what it feels like. It feels like they switched Buzz out, and we're supposed to not know. But it shows horribly, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, there's this whole side plot. Buzz's only thing going on in this movie is that Woody's having like a
existential
crisis.
dread and crisis of...
You know, it's a Toy Story film.
The movie's about Woody and him having to get over
Andy.
Following kids, and Andy specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, there's Forky there, but like Forky is so not even a plot point in this movie other than like get the thing to the kid and like
I do not like how this whole Forky situation was handled.
I forgot Forky was even a character until he shows up on screen by the end of the movie.
But he kind of disappears for a while.
He's like, oh, we need to make sure Forky's around for Bonnie, aka you need to be me. I'm vicariously living through Forky.
You. Yeah.
This is Woody speaking.
Yeah.
It's like, Woody is like, I need to vicariously be the best toy for Bonnie, who is Andy for me. This is a big game. It's like, you need to be the Woody for the Andy.
Right.
In this scenario, because Woody is losing it and stuff.
Yeah. But the fact that Forky actually is Bonnie's favorite toy, just my suspension of disbelief does not stretch that far. And okay, this kind of goes right into the ending. Not the ending, because I have a whole other thing about that. But after the credits, it shows the toys all there a year later, and Forky is still there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
I don't believe that.
Are you serious? No. This is one of those... It's just this is a craft project Bonnie made, and yes, it was important to her in that moment, but this is a toy that is going to get thrown out in a week, or get broken.
It's honestly, I could have seen Forky existing in the room for a month.
And the fact that Pixar decides to not go the realistic route this time, I'm just like, you cowards.
Mm-hmm. It's you know what? Just have it be something where Forky is there for Bonnie, and then Bonnie's finally over it, and he's like, oh, well, my goal is done. Now I can go be with the trash. Like I wanted. Whole time.
Uh-huh.
And then that just be the end of it. Or he learns some new meaning and doesn't just become one of the toys.
Well, okay. When we were watching the trailers for this film, I thought that it was going to be pretty clear that the direction of this movie was going to be Woody was obsessed with making sure Forky stays by Bonnie. And you have those scenes in the trailer where Bonnie is like, oh no, I can't find him. And the trailer wants you to believe that that's Forky. I thought that was a red herring, and it was Bonnie saying, oh no, I can't find Woody. But Woody is obsessed with trying to save this toy that, doesn't matter.
And Bonnie, at this point, has quite literally forgotten that Woody is a character. Or even exists.
Which also really bothers me, because
the end of
third movie makes it sound...
You have to take good care of him.
Yeah, it's
And the movie starts with her, not even caring about him anymore.
Yeah, well, and, she's the most enamored with him out of all the other toys.
At the beginning?
Yeah. Well, no,
at 3.
At 3, yeah.
But this movie's no, I'm over him. Now it's all about literally any of the other toys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. It's all right.
It's another one of those things that feels like a contrivance to make this movie work.
Mm-hmm.
Which, of course, movies are made of tons of contrivances, but it's not one that I believe.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, poor Buzz Lightyear.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't actually say what his plotline was.
His plotline is do nothing.
Yeah, but...
Try to get Woody back, and by extension Forky, but mostly Woody.
The reason Buzz is hit with a stupid stick, though, is because Woody and Buzz have a conversation, and Buzz is asking, hey, Woody, are you okay? And, Woody opens up to him, and he says, he doesn't know how he feels about all this, and how he's going to deal with moving on. And...
He's got this voice in his head.
Yeah.
His conscience telling him what to do. And
Buzz doesn't understand what a conscience is. And
He's
he
like, "The
thinks
voice in your
Woody
head?
is
What does it sound
talking
like?"
about his voice box.
Or something.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Oh, I have a voice box too. Is that my conscience?" And then he, like, throughout the rest of the movie, he's just listening to his voice lines to know what to do next.
Yeah.
As he tries to find Woody and Forky, who have gotten separated. And I both appreciate and am a little sad for that all of Bonnie's other toys are and are not in this movie. So all of the toys get brought along in this road trip.
They do not matter.
They should not have been brought along in this road trip. This movie would have been a lot cleaner if they were there at the beginning, said a few one-liners and stuff like that to show that they still exist in Bonnie's room, and people can be like, I love these characters. But then they go on a road trip of just like literally 2, 3, or maybe 4 of them.
Yeah.
As in, like, Forky, of course. Woody maybe probably stows along. This is me rewriting the movie here.
Yeah.
Woody stows along because Bonnie just doesn't care about him that much. I mean, she still plays with them.
Yeah, I was confused as to what, like, I was like, oh, okay, so Woody, like, I thought there would be a thing where Woody stows along, but he doesn't. He's brought along, even though the movie's trying to establish that Bonnie doesn't care about him anymore, which
As
seems...
much. I don't know. Buzz, because Buzz, and, like, the doll.
Dolly?
Is her name Dolly?
Dolly.
Okay, Dolly, the head toy of Bonnie's original toys.
Yeah.
And just make it about them.
Yeah.
Okay?
I was really looking forward to seeing more of Trixie and...
Dolly.
And
the unicorn.
Yeah.
But no, they're all there. They do, like, random one-liners. And then they're not in the movie. They're just stuck in the RV. And their only plot is, oh no, we need to make sure the RV doesn't leave until Woody, etc. get back.
Right.
So all they do is sit there, they panic, and they, like, pop a tire. And
Jessie doesn't do anything, and I'm so angry.
like,
she does one
Jessie pops
thing.
a tire, and that's all she does.
She doesn't go along. She doesn't...
She's been left out of the whole movie, which is why she should have been left completely out of the movie.
Right. It's like...
It would have made the movie cleaner, even though it would have probably made people a little more upset that they weren't along. But them not trying to do anything more feels... Weird that they didn't go with Buzz and try to save the day and stuff.
Like,
because they've done that in Toy Story 2 and
left.
3.
Like, especially if Buzz left, Jessie would have been there with him. Like,
because they're, like, a thing now, right?
Yeah.
Which isn't really even brought up a whole lot.
No.
Okay.
Speaking of toys with things.
Things?
Let's talk about Bo Peep.
Oh, okay. Bo Peep. Bo Peep is reintroduced. The movie starts with a flashback to Andy's room because we can never get over Andy. And they're showing that Bo Peep was totally on board with the whole saving toys and, like, they working as a group to make sure that they stick together and stuff. And they save RC, who wasn't seen in 3 or 2.
Yeah. Save
and,
RC, and I was actually... I used to have a lot of the Toy Story toys as a kid growing up, so seeing RC being, like, all flooded with water and trying to get out of the street, I'm like, oh!
They
I
save
remember
RC.
having an RC.
Okay. They save RC, who is to never be seen again. But while this is happening, Bo Peep, who lives on a lamp, is taken away.
Yeah.
And, like, given to some other kid because... what is her name?
Molly.
Molly, Andy's little sister, doesn't need her anymore. And this is setting up the plot line for Woody for this movie. Is Bo Peep is like, it's okay. I'm just going on to a new kid. It's fine. you could come with me because we are characters that my literal only character in previous movies is I like you.
Yeah.
And so this movie setting up that she was a little more of like, I can do things and stuff, shown in the past, totally okay with me.
Right.
And so she's like, come with me. And Woody's like, I can't. I still have the whole Andy God complex thing. I can't.
You're right.
And she's like,
That's disappointing.
I'm really sad, but okay.
Yeah.
And then she's gone.
Which honestly, like, that whole intro scene, I really did like.
Oh, I thought that was very well done.
Mm-hmm.
She's reintroduced in the town.
Yeah.
And she is crazy radical lady.
I mean, I wouldn't say crazy.
No, she's not
but,
crazy.
like, she's crazy awesome.
Crazy awesome, radical. She apparently lived with this other kid for like a year or two, and then she got pawned off to the
antique shop
where Woody finds her lamp, and she's not around, and that's what gets Forky captured by the not villain of this movie. We'll talk about her later.
Big contrivance there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just like, they're almost back to the RV, but then Woody's like,
Bo Peep.
Bo Peep?
Bo.
So they go back, they go into this antique shop, and it's just like, we don't need to do this.
But we need to, otherwise the real plot of this movie can't happen. Real plot. It's going to change like 7 more times before this movie's over.
Yeah.
Anyways, she is reintroduced. They meet up in a park. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
She's like driving an RC car that she's changed to look like a skunk, and she's like breaking apart, because she's made of porcelain.
Yeah.
And she's like, don't worry, it's fine. And she just like stitches herself, or like tapes herself back together, and I guess that works. But I guess that's something they've kind of established in this universe already, with Woody losing his arm, and like all of the toys getting stitched together by bad kid in the first movie. Sid.
Yeah.
Like, so this is something that's been pre-established. I'm totally okay with her. It's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. She's got like a Polly Pocket as a friend.
Yeah.
Who's like her sidekick, and one of the new characters that comes along for this movie. The sheep that she has actually get named.
Yeah. Billy Goat.
Billy Goat Gruff.
Billy Goat Gruff.
It's like, oh, that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
They're the 3 Billy Goats Gruff, or Billy, Goat, and Gruff.
Yeah.
And then along the lines, Key and Peele get introduced as a bunny and a chick.
Yeah, like a little
stuffed animals that are stuck together.
Yeah, they're like sewn together at the paw. Yeah.
And they're honestly pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, they're funny. Yeah. I was afraid they would be annoying.
My biggest problem is they're probably too distracting. They're too charismatic that they overshadow some of the other characters in some of the scenes.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I probably would have been happier with this movie. It was just them futzing around in a carnival.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that. And why I think they were introduced and why they are the way they are now.
Okay.
Because I feel like I want to psychoanalyze this movie a lot.
Yeah, this is going to be a long one, as you can probably see from the timestamp.
Turns out it's only like 7 more minutes. What? How?
Oh, wow. We got our thoughts out so concisely. That'll never happen.
That's not going to happen. It's a Disney/Pixar film that's new. We talk about these a long time.
About a franchise that's pretty near and dear to my heart. Like,
same.
Yeah, Toy Story we grew up with.
Toy Story 1.
Directly zero-targeted right to my soul.
Like, we were the correct age to see this movie, the original movie, when it came out.
Well, no, we were like 2 or 3 years old.
Okay, we are a little bit younger, but this movie changed the scope of how we thought about our own toys.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
most definitely.
Hell yeah, of course. I saw this movie and then I was like, yes, my toys are alive.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the sense of, yes, I think they are literally alive, but no, I think that they are alive in the sense that I care about them a lot and want them to be well taken care of. In fact, I still have my stuffed animal Snowball, who's like a baby seal, and I care about that thing a lot. I still have it.
I feel guilt over toys that have been damaged in the past, and I feel bad about like any toys that get put in closets and stuff. Like,
and I know we're not alone.
Toy Story has screwed us up, man.
This did it to an entire generation of kids. So of course we're going to be talking about this movie.
A lot.
Where were we? What were we talking?
We're talking about our toys.
No, before that,
Key and Peele.
Key and Peele. They get introduced, just like introducing all the characters that get show up in this movie. And the last to get introduced to the main crew of characters is Duke Kaboom.
Duke Kaboom.
Played by Keanu Reeves, apparently?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I'm pretty...
Lol.
Because Keanu Reeves is in this movie, and this is the only character he could be.
Yeah.
But he's Canada's greatest stuntman, apparently.
He's very much like a Ken type character where he's there for the jokes. I think I liked Ken a bit more than Duke Kaboom, but Duke Kaboom was fun.
That's because Ken is hella gay and adorable for it.
I love Ken so much. Never liked Ken before Toy Story 3, but man, did Toy Story 3 make me really love Ken.
We can make this a cool and groovy place.
I love it. Yeah, Duke Kaboom has like this whole complex about being like immediately abandoned by his kid.
Because he didn't live up to the
advertisements.
The advertisements for his own toy.
Yeah.
And so he felt really sad about that, but this is him. This movie is him getting over it, sort of, whatever.
I wonder if at some point in the production of this movie, the plot was about being a defective toy.
I wonder,
because there's a lot of defective toys.
Yeah, especially in Bo Peep's group.
Yeah.
Or group and just like all of the toys there that are like, we don't have kids anymore, so
we've never had kids before.
And now we're just like going around trying to get kids or just be played with at like parks and stuff. And like, oh, that feels really depressing.
Which, I mean, also just kind of goes nowhere.
Yeah, it doesn't actually go anywhere.
Yeah.
So here's one of my thoughts about this movie. Like one of the original scripts of this movie. Because when Toy Story 4 was like originally announced that they were working on it, they had said something along the lines of it's not going to have any of the older characters. It was going to be its own standalone story, and I wonder if that's where a lot of these characters that are new originally had their own plot that is very similar to what happened to them in this movie. But then Woody had to shove himself in here and do all this other stuff.
I forgot about that. But that was the original pitch for Toy Story 4. It's Toy Story 4, but we're leaving the old cast behind.
Like, I would have been fine if this movie starred Bo Peep and her just getting over the fact that she doesn't have any specific kid, and she is okay with that, and she goes around helping other toys either find kids that they want or letting them join her crew of helping other toys get kids or just be happy with being alone.
Yeah.
Type of thing. And I wonder if they're like, we could do that, or we could sell more Woody toys and all the other toys, so we need to get them back in this movie. And then that's how Bonnie and all that gets dragged in.
Yeah.
Maybe. I could just be reading into that too much.
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely like a million different drafts that they had for Bo Peep, because like there's a lot of baggage that Bo Peep has, but it never gets dissected.
Oh yeah.
At all.
It's like she very clearly still has some suppressed feelings about being abandoned, as I'm sure most toys do, but she like really shoves that crap down and is like, nope, I'm okay with being by myself. I have all my friends and stuff. And
yeah, Woody's gonna have a surprise argument with Bo Peep at some point because those repressed feelings are gonna go rushing back at some point.
Yeah, I guess spoilers for the end of the movie, Woody stays with Bo Peep and is no longer with Bonnie. And is not with all of the other toys. And they technically get like a heartfelt goodbye, but it doesn't feel earned at all because the other characters weren't in this movie.
Thank you. I was afraid that it was going to be me saying that I don't feel like the ending of this movie is earned.
No, it's not.
Okay. I'm glad you're with me there.
I could see him going to be with Bo Peep at the end of the movie when they introduced that first scene with him almost going with Bo Peep. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, that's where Woody's going to end up. How are they going to do it? They do it through a whole bunch of random plots that are loosely connected, I guess, and then he doesn't get a real good goodbye to all of his old friends that he's been with for literally their whole lives.
Yeah.
From the point that they got picked up by Andy, these toys have been together. Mm-hmm. And now their leader, who sure has gotten really depressed and a little crazy, is finally like, I need to leave. Mm-hmm. And he's just abandoning the rest of the toys.
Yeah.
It's like, sure, they have Bonnie's new toys.
And that's why I feel like they do not want to focus on a lot of the other toys in this movie.
Because they're getting abandoned by
Woody. And
the person that has always been there to tell him it would be okay and we'll stick together and stuff like that.
Yep.
I mean, part of that is probably a little better because they were okay with Woody going off to college and them just going to live in the attic.
Yeah.
But then Woody derailed that whole thing.
Right.
So they're probably more okay with it now than they would have been at the beginning of Toy Story 3.
Uh-huh.
But even then,
Woody has been like the biggest the movie really tries to sell
the most religious out of all of them to his singular god, Andy. And when Andy abandons him, he's like, all right, we're going to try this new god, Bonnie. I don't want to focus too much on that whole aspect of these movies.
Yeah, I know.
But, like, I have to for a little bit.
Right. I mean, these toys are religious zealots.
Religious zealots following around their gods that don't really know they exist or care.
Yeah.
And just play with them as their own whims.
Yeah.
Because that's what these movies are. It's really weird if you think about it.
Just don't think about it.
Don't think about it. They're fun toy movies. Ha ha ha.
But... yeah,
and he's finally getting over his religion.
In order for this whole Woody abandoning Bonnie thing, it's like you would have had to sell the romance between Woody and Bo Peep and make me care about it more than the relationship between Woody and Buzz.
They tried really hard by murdering Buzz's character.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we gotta keep Buzz as far away from Woody as possible, because if the audience remembers what good friends they are, this all goes to shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Buzz being an idiot really is, like, almost on purpose. Mm-hmm. Isn't it?
I mean, yeah.
Just so that, like, they can really establish the Woody Bo Peep thing.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I think they're a cute couple, and...
Are they?
Okay. No.
Are they, like...
She's an interesting character, and
I love Woody, but, like...
I don't think they actually go together, because Woody literally just like...
yeah, like...
girl...
Yeah, their only interactions are, brief glances at each other.
And then she's like, you're an idiot, you keep messing things up.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, like, Jesse and Buzz have more chemistry
And there's none there.
And there's nothing in this movie. But, like Jessie and Buzz are at least cute. And, like, they do things. And there's something to go off of. But, like, Woody and Bo Peep, they just, like, write in... Woody stares at Bo for a while because he is overtaken with the emotion of them being reunited, or the environment that they're at, or she pretty, and like that's it.
So many times they're like, Bo Peep's like, wow, isn't this place cool? And Woody just turns and stares directly at her and like, yeah. This happens.
Like,
Multiple times this happens multiple times in the movie too. Like, look at the carnival, isn't it cool? Yeah. Look at all these pretty lights in this antique shop. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Poor Woody just goes through so much like turmoil in this movie. Getting his voice box ripped out. There's a really weird surgery that, like, happens near the end of this movie. Okay, now I guess we need to talk about Gabby Gabby.
Gabby Gabby, the not villain of this movie.
The plot contrivance that didn't really go anywhere.
Very clearly, this character was supposed to be a villain the whole time. In probably multiple drafts of this movie. But then the final version that we got, her and her mannequin buddies aren't actually bad guys. They're just misunderstood. And she just so desperately wants to have a friend, like be someone's friend, and like someone's toy, but she can't do that because her voice box was broken when she got pulled out of the box. So, miraculously enough, Woody apparently has like the same voice box that was used in the same factory, so she needs his voice box and then just replace the tape inside. And Woody is like, hell no!
Yeah.
That's me!
That's mine!
And then by the end of the movie, he's like, okay, fine.
Also, taking something like a voice box feels like a violation. Like it's very creepy the way it's all set up. You know, it's like
it's supposed to be real weird and creepy.
Yeah, it's like they literally have to like cut him open to get it out, and and then at the end,
it's
Woody,
played as like not even that big of a deal.
She emotionally manipulates Woody by like finding out all these secrets through Sporky. And she's like, I just want to have that same experience that you had with Andy.
And this still feels like it's being played like a villain thing. And he's like, fine, I'll give you the voice box. Just give me Sporky. And you're like, right, Sporky is what we're just is the object that we're going after. The piece of trash that this movie is revolving around, I guess. So he gets the surgery, gets it taken out. He's fine. And she gets her voice box, and she goes, like, places herself in the perfect spot to be noticed by the girl that she adores and is like the grandchild of the
owner of the antique shop.
And the girl's like, I just found this doll. And the grandma's like, do you want to take it home? And the girl's like, nah, and throws her away. And Gabby Gabby's like, well, life is meaningless. And then Woody's like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, now I feel real bad.
Now I feel really bad. Come on, I have a different little girl you can go play with. Or, like, just because this god doesn't like you, I can find you a different god. And so they're trying to get back to Bonnie, and random hijinks ensue, but they're at the carnival, and then they see this other random little girl, and Gabby Gabby's like, I need to help her.
Yeah.
And this little girl's like crying and shit.
Because she's lost.
At the fair. And honestly, I cried at this point.
I did too, and...
Nothing to do with Gabby Gabby. I just
Felt really bad for that little girl.
I fucking hate seeing children cry, okay?
Uh-huh.
It's like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And like being lost at a fair?
Oh.
I haven't been lost at a fair, but like I have briefly been separated from people that I thought I knew where they were, and it was the fucking worst thing ever as a child.
Uh-huh.
I'm cursing a lot here, but like
strong emotions.
Real strong emotions. I care about this child so much, and when she gets reunited, I'm just like bawling and like wiping away
Yeah,
tears.
yeah, it's like
This is something that happens like literally for like 2 minutes, and it's supposed to be the redemption point for Gabby Gabby because Gabby Gabby like gets with the little girl.
comforts her, yeah.
And the girl's like,
don't worry.
I'll help you find your family or whatever, which helps her get back to her family because she talks to police officers and then you get all fixed out.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't care about Gabby Gabby, but oh my god, this little girl.
Uh-huh.
And I wish, this is going back to like the original plot of this movie.
Uh-huh.
I want her to play out very similar, where this doll is weird and creepy and super obsessed with being played with, and they need to overcome that aspect in maybe a similar, different way, and they do help her get a child in maybe a similar fashion. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like this could have still worked, just rework it that Andy's toys or Bonnie's toys are not involved at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because maybe I would have felt some more emotional attachment to Gabby Gabby at that point.
Mm-hmm. But with Gabby Gabby, she spends... Like, there's just... She's not really a villain.
No, she like spends the whole movie being played up as a villain, but she's never actually really doing anything evil other than trying to kidnap and take away the voice box from Woody.
But she's not likable either.
No, she just kind of exists.
Yeah. And...
It's like she's played as a villain, but also supposed to be kind of sympathetic, but also like I just don't really care one way or the other about her.
Yeah, it's like you needed to go hard one way or the other.
Mm-hmm. Like sympathetic villain that does get redeemed, or full-blown evil toy again, sure.
Mm-hmm. And yet again, like a lot of these are just nitpicks. As people who are fan of the Toy Story franchise, I think as a whole, this all together, it works just fine. It's just...
Jumping from plot point to plot point of, now we need to get back to Gabby Gabby to get Sporky back, but now we need to run away, and now we need to, like, get over to this other place, and no, we're all done, and you dummy, we're broken now, and we're not dealing with this anymore, and now we're doing this other thing, and wait, we gotta get back to Gabby Gabby, here, have my voice box. It feels like it's 7 different plots that have been rewritten multiple times. There is at least twice in this movie where the characters are like, well, we need to go do this thing, and then they see something, and they say like one line of like, or we could do that. And then they do that. Mm-hmm. And that happens multiple times where it's like, oh, this is them rewriting the plot.
Right.
It's like, we were going to have them try to do this.
This is where they stitched it together.
It's like they were going to do something out of this plot, and then they decided this action set piece would work better, so they switched gears and went that direction instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And going back to Bo Peep a bit, there are times where it feels like they are going to dive deeper into her character, or at some point in the script that was written in there, but then like it never happens.
They like forgot to put that part back into the movie.
Yeah.
Instead, she's just like, no, I'm a loner person. I don't really believe in gods, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay being by myself and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all we get out of her, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I just, like, part of me wonders if they decided to go with this ending, so it's like, alright, for realsies now, we can't write any more Toy Stories.
The main crew is split up now. We can't do this again.
Yeah. But, like, I mean, they could.
They could easily do it about one or the other, or just like what they were originally planning on doing with this movie, have none of this cast again, do a whole new group of toys.
I wish they would have gone that route. Because,
like,
the idea, the concept of Woody and Buzz not being together anymore just breaks my heart. I'm just like, but it's Woody and Buzz.
They just go together.
Yeah.
That's how it do.
Mm-hmm.
I would have much preferred this movie if none of them were in this movie.
The main cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was about Bo Peep or some other toys or whatever.
Bo Peep or just whole new cast.
Yeah, a whole new cast.
Like, honestly, a lot of these other characters, like we were saying, were pretty enjoyable. And honestly, whenever these characters, any of the characters, were like just talking to each other and interacting, it was a ton of fun. And I really enjoyed the character interactions of this movie. It's just the plot is weird. It's just like all over the place.
Went through production hell and
it shows.
It shows. Like, it doesn't show as bad as, you know, a lot of other movies. Because I feel like they still did a decent enough job stitching it together. So, like, it's a cohesive story from beginning to end. It's just not a story I like very much.
Yeah.
This is one Toy Story I can put back up on the shelf.
Okay.
With Wheezy.
Oh, snap. Oh. The callbacks.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think overall this movie's still a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's anywhere near as good as any of the other 3 Toy Story movies.
It is definitely the one that when it ends, like, even usually if I have a nitpick about Toy Story, like I remember when Toy Story 3 came out, everyone was praising it, and then, you know, as movies go, after a little while, people started to, like, pick it apart a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And even after hearing all the things that were picked apart with Toy Story 3, I still really like it.
Yeah, I agree.
Still really love it. And a lot of the things that were picked apart, I'm actually like, you know, I see where you're coming from. I don't agree with you.
I mean...
And that's totally fine. That's how movies go.
Is Mr. Cuddly Bear just a rehash of the villain from the second movie? Yes.
Yeah.
I think Is his backstory hella weak? Yeah. I still think he's an okay villain for the movie.
Yeah, it's as strong as it needs to be. Like, we didn't need to, like, go in a deep dive here.
Mm-hmm. He's not the focus of the movie.
But with this one, it was like, I'm having a good time, and then it got to the ending.
And it's becoming very manipulative, trying to pull your heartstrings and stuff. And like, you're not doing it because you didn't set it up.
Well, you set it up. I just think that even with the setup, you didn't earn it.
You chose poorly.
Yeah.
You tried to do this, but I don't think it worked.
Yeah, it's like you didn't earn it, and now all of those points that get us to that ending, I have a bigger problem with.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't separate Woody and Buzz, man.
Oh, you're really fixated on this. I mean, I think you're probably correct.
I mean, I spent my whole life with Woody and Buzz, man. And now you're trying to make me believe that Woody's just gonna go off with Bo Peep? Who cares about Bo Peep?
I clearly don't have as strong of an emotional attachment to these two characters.
Also, they didn't recount the events of Kingdom Hearts 3, so 0 out of 10. No, this was a good movie. It's just...
Because, yeah...
big sigh.
The Pixar team is totally okay with Kingdom Hearts 3 being canon in their movie universes.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
I mean, not that, like, whatever. I don't want to get into Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers
I like
here.
that for Monsters, Inc.
Yeah.
I like it for Monsters, Inc. Toy Story is a little harder to swallow.
Whatever, man. We're not going into Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers here. But yeah,
I don't.
Is there anything else we have to say?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think people should still see the movie.
I am interested to hear other thoughts on this film. I'm interested to see if, like a few months down the line, if my opinion changes on this, if there's like thought pieces written about it. And I feel like there will be, because it's Toy Story.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like some people will probably really enjoy this ending of like Woody learning to let go and like be his own toy and stuff. But like, I don't know, that's valid, but
it's not Woody.
I can't get behind it, because I've had 3 other movies where Woody is
not this,
and would never leave Buzz and Jessie and Bullseye behind. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Okay, well, I think that's it for this review.
Mm-hmm.
We're watching something next in a week or 2, probably. I don't know. I haven't checked.
Yeah.
It'll show up when it shows up.
Tell us your thoughts on Toy Story 4 if you've seen it.
And I guess if you're interested in our thoughts on other movies, I'm going to do a shameless plug here because we never do this.
Okay.
We've talked about a lot of movies on this channel.
Yeah.
Most of them not recent.
Yeah.
Because we're doing a show called Animation Pilgrimage where we watch every single theatrically released animated film in chronological order. So we've watched all of them that we can get our hands on from 1927, where the first one came out, all the way up through 1969. Nice. And obviously we're still going.
Yeah.
And
so we're making our way into the 70s soonish.
Yeah, so there's a lot of movies there that you probably heard of or
haven't heard of,
and you should check out because some of them are real gems and others are total
hot
stinkers.
Garbage.
But if you like it, hearing us just ramble about animated movies for like 30 minutes to an hour, it's here on this channel. In fact, here's a playlist. Here's the playlist, so go check it out.
Yeah.
All right. I think
we talk a lot more about the history of the film, and it's fun.
Yeah, we generally have more notes on the movie.
Yeah.
But that's it. So
thank you guys for watching.
And bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.